Welcome to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, where world-changing spiritual entrepreneurs come to deeply awaken the power within to bring forth their greatest purpose, to create massive awakened impact for millions of souls around the planet, while enjoying being in tune with all life and real wealth in all aspects of their lives. I'm your host, Daniel John Hanneman. And hello, everybody. So glad to have you here again. Another amazing Spiritual Rockstar podcast show. And of course, I'm Daniel John Hanneman. Today, I am going to be the one sharing with you. And so I'm so grateful to share with you how to spice up your spiritual business for your breakthrough seven-figure success. So I'll be talking about how to move through energies that come up for many spiritual entrepreneurs as they start to grow and develop their business to six figures and are trying to have a deeper breakthrough to experience their greater mission and purpose being fulfilled in a centered, deep, and amazing way. Yet something seems to be dragging the energy down and not allowing things to expand to the next level. So we're going to get into it in just a sec. Do you want to meditate and make money? Let it be simple. Let it be easy. Let it be fun. Go to yoursacredpurpose.com and get your free Meditate Make Money meditation today. So the way that we can approach this as far as how do we approach spicing up our spiritual business in order to allow ourselves to have this next level of success, I bring this topic up of how to do it is because there's a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs that I've met that are not always, again, so joy-filled and so filled with great energy as they become more and more financially successful and reach more people. It's not always a given. There's a number of things that happen for people to become more successful that are not things that maybe you're thinking about when you're just thinking, hey, I'd love to make a big impact, make a lot of money. And so I think in order to set the foundation right is so critical to your spiritual business. That's why I do the work that I do. I foundationally am here to support spiritual entrepreneurs to build that foundation once they go to six figures, or sometimes even before that, in order so that things can grow and develop in a way that's within your breath, within your pace, and also bring you joyful satisfaction with greater ease and grace and deep purpose and meaning for you, rather than it's just a machine that you're trying to run that becomes kind of a drag, kind of burns you out. So we're going to talk about a little bit again about some of the dark side that goes on as far as if you don't lay the foundation right, and why you're not. In other words, why I'm even sharing this part of it is because the reason why you're not spicing up your spiritual business to allow the success to happen in the first place is because you're concerned about all the things I just said. Somewhere in your psyche, probably as a pretty sensitive, empathic person, you have concerns around expanding. Some of them may be around your visibility and power and all these other things that we commonly talk about that I can talk about again today a little bit. But one of the things is that you are, as a more sensitive person, likely as a more, I want to be free type of person. I don't want to be encumbered by some big business that drags me down. I have a lot of headaches to deal with. That how can you fundamentally set it up so that you're not creating that, and therefore your subconscious can get on mind. Allow yourself to be as spicy as you want to be, as joyful as you want to be, as fun as you want to be in your spiritual business. Therefore, let the energetic gates to be open so floods of new energy can come through you, and creativity and opportunities that start happening easily for you because you've let it happen, and it's all play and it's all fun, 80-90% or more. And the other chunk of it is just things that come up that maybe aren't as joyful or a bit challenging, but aren't a disaster constantly showing up again and again. and knowing that we can't control any of it, but that we can certainly set the energetic foundation so such things are not only possible, but are are typically inevitable. I want to say are inevitable because we've already set up the foundation of the business that way. So how do we do that? So let's talk about what you might be afraid of on a subconscious level. Address those things by you just listening to me. This is one of the things when I'm coaching people is just by listening to me, without me doing a formal healing process, I'm working with your energy. I'm tuning into you guys. I'm tuning into where the limits are. And as I talk about it, I'm already beginning to make that shift in the collective for us and for those that are listening, particularly, right? So it's sinking into your energy so that you can let it drop in to your deeper energy and body so that these things can happen. Now I'm going to have, I have other videos to clear your energy and formal processes through meditation and channeling on the channel. So always feel free to check those out as well. So again, what I've discovered through, again, people I've interviewed here to some degree, maybe it's come up, but more so just in general and being in contact with so many people in the coaching, healer, spiritual entrepreneur space where they're training or authors or teaching, whatever they may be doing. Again, I've seen the dark side. I've seen some cases where people are having larger businesses and it's going well. So what have I learned from all that? From, non-formal, but sort of extensive contacts and sort of research in a way. I'm researching as I'm meeting people. So again, what I find is that as you grow your business, you find at some point, most businesses, unless you're charging a lot of money for your coaching package, like $50,000, $100,000 or something, or maybe more, or you have a few, you mix in a few high level clients with corporate clients and they pay you tons of money and it's all very organized and streamlined your service delivery to them. It doesn't require a massive amount of your energy. Somehow you create that for yourself. Like you could create different ways where you don't need more help or a team. But often we need a team in order to achieve the dream, as they say, right? So you need a team in order to achieve the dream. And we know that, subconsciously we know that. And if we don't bring in the right team, the team that would support us for our highest good and would just be reflecting, issues we already have because we didn't take care of the foundations, our energy and for our business. And you're going to have to deal with a team that's going to create more work for you rather than less, right? So that's why, again, getting energy foundations really clear for yourself, being so intentional about what you're doing. And I always say you got to slow down to speed up. You need to slow down and speed up before you start creating all these different layers of your business. You better slow down before you speed up, or you might just create a disaster for yourself to have to deal with. Yeah, you'll do good. You'll have some good times. You'll make a lot of money, maybe. Sure. Okay. But what kind of business do you have? Are you chained to your business now? And it's like you can't get out of it because you're just so caught up in the energy of it now. And you're like in hypnosis that this is what I do and I'm making money. You don't want to do that. So we have to get the foundations right. And part of it is around getting your energy right so that you will attract to yourself the right people, the right team that will support you. That could include, the foundations of just the people in your life, that are supportive of what you're up to, that want the highest for you, that are like, yeah, that and more. I can see like you doing great things. People can see it for us. That is just such a simple foundational thing, and that you don't have people are just constantly trying to drag you down. So you've got people spicing it up by seeing you, right? And and so you want to have those people. I mean, that's one of the things I think people appreciate about what I do is like I'm able to see people. I'm able to see the opportunity. I'm able to see it in someone. I can see their potential. I can see how it can work in a wonderful way for them, in a wonderful way for the world. So you need people around you that can support you with that. Yes, there's details and there's so many other aspects that maybe need to be attended to. You may not need a huge team. It might be just a few people, but you're going to need a certain number of people in order to create that incredible breakthrough 7-figure or higher level business that you want. In most cases, like I said, there's always exceptions where maybe somebody, did it on their own with almost no support, other than emotional and coaching support, which I don't know any 7-figure business owners in the transformational space that don't get coaches or haven't had coaches or don't continue to get coaching. Maybe they don't have coaches every single step along the way. Many do, but they get that help along the way. So you want a foundation to make sure the people you're letting into your life the most are fully supportive, at least at a minimum, of you and what you're doing. And if they're not, then you have to do whatever you can to either minimize your contact or eliminate them from your circle. You just have to. And if you don't, then it doesn't mean you can't be successful. I'm not of that mindset. I'm not like, well, you just never could do it then. I'm just going to say, you're trying to climb a mountain with extra weights in your backpack. Okay. And I think some of the people listening, because I've been this way at times in my life, you're probably crazy enough to think that's actually virtuous, right? Let me put an extra 100 pounds on my back and then let me try to go up the mountain. Then I'll really show what I'm capable of and how caring I am and all this stuff, all this ego virtuing in your mind, making yourself so virtuous that you could do it. It's ridiculous. Let it be easy. You can never achieve. The person without the 100 pounds on their back can do way more than you can. And chances of you breaking down are just way high, way high with a 100-pound. Someone's like constantly trying to drag you down, not maybe consciously, they're constantly trying to pull you back down the mountain as you're trying to climb the mountain, right? So what good is that? You don't want that. That's not going to be helpful. You want people who can be your scouts, your guides. Hey, I saw a better path than what path you're going down. Once you just turn a little bit this way, it's going to be easier. And going to save you time and energy and money or whatever. Like they can see like, hey, the conditions today aren't so great to be scaling that this area right now. Maybe you ought to just chill out, for the day, build up some more energy, and then the next day, the conditions will be a little different, and then you can do it. Then you're going to be able to do it much easier, and it's going to be better overall. In the bigger picture, right? Because everybody, survival, basal brain stuff takes over all too often and just says safety at all costs. And it just keeps you in the same old patterns. You can't spice anything up then, right? You can't innovate, you can't change things. So foundationally, if you want to grow and you don't have any support to speak of in terms of it, probably most of you, hopefully, have gotten coaches by now and healers or whatever you need along the way. But if you haven't, man, you definitely need it, or you're not likely to climb much higher than wherever you are now. Ultimately, again, I'm not saying you can't grow without it. I'm just saying at some point you're going to hit a sticking point, all right? And then but it is important to find the right support. It's better, I feel it's better to be on your own than to have support that is just support. Like, oh, I just need support. Hire people to come into your circle, whether it be VAs. Like a lot of people start off, they don't even use VAs. Eventually, you want to have VA. Don't be doing your back end of your business and the technology and everything, etc. Like hire people for that. Make sure that As you're growing, if you're going to develop various programs for people to come into, whatever they may be, there's so many different ones, memberships, group programs, masterminds, whatever, I don't know, so many different ones that we could talk about. Make sure that you bring people in to support all that, that you bring people in to help you support all that. If you are going to build like a membership site or a group that's going to have 100 or more people, for example, or even far less than that, but it's a higher touch kind of care, you don't want to be doing it with just you. That's way too limiting. You want to be hiring other coaches or healers or other support to serve your client base, whatever the clientele may be. Maybe it isn't service based, maybe it's a product, but you're going to need more people. You need customer service like any business does. You can't be the customer service all the time, or it's going to be way too hard. It's going to be way too hard. You're likely the talent or the teacher, or you're the talent, and you're supposed to be focused on bringing your talent forth. And yes, you do have to mind your business, and you have to spend some time maybe with some of the marketing for sure, and sales and everything to some degree. But then as you grow, if you want to grow, you have to let other people help you with the marketing, or create automated systems of marketing increasingly, or to come up with a team to do the selling for you. Some people that can sell for you. You can train them to sell. If you're decent or good at sales, or you find keep getting more training you and your team, but you have a sales team that is dedicated to you, and that you're of an intention and get energy foundation to understand you're clear enough and who you are, and you're clear enough, and you've cleared enough of your stuff, and you're landed ground enough in your mission that you're attracting the right people. So this is why it's so critical. Otherwise, you have a team that you're working really hard um, to manage, and then you're doing a lot of people pleasing stuff, which is just rampant, just a rampant thing in our society. And then that creeps into a spiritual business quite a lot. So you don't want that. It's where a nightmare can happen. So you don't have the right people, you get in relationships with them, you don't feel like you want to fire somebody. Now you've got a real problem, in terms of like unnecessary suffering is what I'm talking about. So you want to be really clear about who your team is, what support do I need, and then um, within that, that's a way of spicing things up. It's like, how do I want to grow? Who are the people that I would enjoy to grow my business with? So, for example, for me, like recently, I hired a human design business person. Like that just is just an intuitive thing. Like, okay, that's what feels like the right growth for me right now. So I hired that person, for an example. Um, or maybe let's say, so that was one example for me. Other people I've hired seem like the right people at those times, right? So like, what's the frequency of the person I need, and maybe their skill set, of course, and what they specifically can help me with. But the frequency is always a big deal, especially as a sensitive person that I'm guessing that you are, as a spiritual, empathic sort of person. You're probably pretty sensitive. So you want to make sure you're always with good energy, taking care of yourself, your self-care, spice up your self-care life. I harped on team a lot because I've seen how people have the wrong team members is a disaster in terms of often in results. If results on the outward level aren't well, then you're just not in a good energy, and eventually those results will go away. Okay, so again, self-care, and go to another topic. Self-care, spice up your self-care routine. Believe it or not, all these things are about seven-figure success. I remember one of my mentors talked about the seven-figure practice, and all it really was like massaging your body yourself. Like, here's your seven-figure foundation, I think he called it. And it's like, oh yeah, massage your muscles. Okay, this is what he considered, something he did consider a seven-figure foundation. Seven-figure foundational things are self-care. Okay, you have to take good care of yourself, or your energy isn't going to be just isn't going to be strong and clear enough in your business. Again, if you're sensitive and empathic, if you don't take care of your energy, you're not taking care of your ability to be as effective as you can, especially if you're sensitive. Because if you use those gifts at all in any way in your business, now you're not optimized there, and you're going to create a mess. You're going to create a mess. For messy energy, you will create a messy business. So you do what you can to take care of your energy, working with energy in your chakras, working with, affirmations and meditation, and physically taking care of yourself, eating well, not shoveling in a bunch of junk into your system all the time. I mean, junk in, junk out, in multiple levels. It all connects. It all connects in some way. So you don't want to do that to yourself. You don't want to make it harder. You want to keep putting those 100-pound weights on your back, making everything harder, and not really being fulfilled and fully actualized within as well, which is really what we're looking for, right? You'd be fully actualized and awakened in every way, being a spiritual rock star you're meant to be, to have that breakthrough 7-figure business and more. So I'm not going to go on and on about self-care more today, but self-care is a whole huge area. What can I do to take better care of myself? Some of that might be in your relationships too. Again, like nurturing the relationships that are good in your life, spending more time in those areas, playing more, having more fun, could all be considered self-care. And in fact, one of the last things I'll share about self-care is I look at my entire business as self-care. Like if I'm not feeling the quality of self-love or self-care in anything I'm doing, then it's got to change. It's got to be different. And that could be a way, again, I'm calling it spice up, get into the even spicier sort of thing. But these whole foundational things that if you don't do these things, the extra spice, it only take you so far. So you need to get the base, right? Like just try, put a bunch of spices in your mouth. It might be interesting, but it's going to be like, something a little missing, for most of us. Get the foundation taken care of first. Get that salad prepared first, or whatever it is you like to eat. But and then we put in the extra spices. So we make sure that we're on a clear, strong foundation first. So you want to make sure your energy is optimized, and so through self-care and self-love. There's many people screaming about work 100 hours a week. You'll be working 2 or 3 times more than your competitors, and therefore you'll be way ahead of everybody else. I don't know. I mean, maybe it works for 1% of the population, that they do this and it actually works for them. Or they do it for X amount of years, whether it's a few years or 10 years or 20 years, and then they're burnt out, right? And that might be you. One of you, it might be you listening right now. You'd already tried that and didn't work out so well, even though you had some success temporarily from it. You burned out because it's not sustainable. And it's all wounded base. It's all this idea of this, the little me will make it happen. I'll prove something to myself or others, right? We gotta let go of all that. Obviously, that is ego stuff. That's not spiritual rock star, right? So we need to let go of that. Start letting go of that stickiness that we call it. So get the strong foundation going energetically. Then, then you want to be looking at, okay, what am I doing currently? Pausing, going on a retreat, for example, like can be very helpful when you're looking for breakthrough success. If you feel kind of stuck wherever you are, right? Take a retreat, take 1 or 2 days even, just to go away somewhere. I've done this in the past. I haven't done it recently, but take a day or two, get a bed and breakfast or a hotel, and take time to tune in to what wants to happen right now. What's the next steps? What's the next phase? Or retreat of, sessions throughout the week of just meditating and tuning in on your business, or even be in a contemplation on your business. Not really maybe really we talk about true meditation, just being still and silent. But then we have contemplation. So But within that retreat, taking time for meditation and stillness and contemplation, throughout your week, taking full days or a couple of days or a week or more or a month, whatever you need, to make sure you get the foundation strong and clear, right? Your foundation strong and clear. So that's another level, I guess, of self-care in a way, but it's like taking that time and then working upon yourself. You're working on yourself when you're working on your business. Typically, there might be things you're physically working on in your business, but a lot of it's working on yourself, just working on your own energy, your own, I guess, thoughts in a way. Your thoughts, and your thoughts drop into your deeper energy, and then you become more embodied, and it becomes more a sense of you're just channeling what wants to happen. And it doesn't really seem like your thoughts as much as just what wants to happen. That's where we want to get it to. Okay, that's the spiritual rock stardom I'm talking about. All right. So yeah, a lot of people get into what, tactics and strategy and everything. But all that, I've seen brilliant people do that, and then they have horrible businesses. You would think, oh, they have 7-figure business. They've got a great business. No, a lot of them aren't doing as well as you think. They've got lots of expenses. They're dealing with the dark night of the soul every day because, yeah, they enjoy some of what they're doing, but there's a lot of heaviness. There's a lot of headaches. There's more going on if you don't set things up correctly. There's just a sense of there's always another problem I have to solve, and it doesn't feel very good most of the time. It feels like just a challenge, and I don't like this. But if you get your foundation right, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, etc., you'll be able to handle anything easily. If something even shows up, which it will, something will show up to sort of challenge you, well, you'll be able to handle it so much easier because your stuff won't be getting in the way, and your stuff won't be continuing to create more problems, right? More entanglements, or fighting with people in your business, or you keep pounding away at a problem in your customer delivery or in your marketing or whatever, and the results are always the same because you're still in the same energy. Set the energy foundation right in the first place, and you won't have to go through all of that. So it's better to go slower, continue to make sure your deeper foundations are strong. And then, man, inspiration comes. And this is where we finally get to the spice, the real spiciness, the accent on it, I guess, the exclamation mark, maybe more than just the spice. It's just like, okay, boom, now lights, camera, action, right? Before we get to lights, camera, action, just like in a film, we have a lot of things to set up, right? Imagine some we need to make that full feature film today. It's never going to happen. You can't just get your, flip phone out, like we don't even dealing with that anymore. But you can't just get out your phone, turn it on, and think you're going to have a motion picture that's going to sell billions. I mean, or whatever, be a blockbuster hit at the theaters. It doesn't work that way. There's massive amount of energy and a team that goes into those movies. And for what you want to do, it may not take that much, but it's going to take something, and you have to prepare yourself for that. You really do. You can get it by, on a lower end business, doing your coaching, healing, training, teaching, whatever you do, or delivering whatever amount of products you do right now. You can get away with it, for a 5-figure business, high 5-figure business, low 6-figure business. Well, most of you, again, some of you are blessed that maybe already create some good foundations. You can still cruise at a mid 6 figures or wherever you're at. But if you haven't, set a good energy foundation, you've been doing it from I think I can, I will, and I am, and boom, 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 you're going to cap out probably usually at around low 6 figures. So at the most, somewhere in the low 6-figure range. Which, hey, it's okay, right? It's great. It's better than what a lot of people make in the industry. But you just feel kind of burnt out, stuck in a rut. And then eventually what happens is it goes like under that. Like you hit a plateau, and then it drops. the amount you're making drops. It could go to, 1,000 a month, even I've seen for people. So it could go to nothing. You could end up deciding to leave the industry because you didn't do the work. You didn't do the work. Now you just burn out. You don't know what to do with yourself. You don't want that to happen. But if you're already there, the good news is there's something you can do about it, and do the things I'm saying now. Then, I mean, if it's already gotten to that point, then just do the things I'm saying now. So to get that spice going, the real spice is when out of nowhere, seemingly for a lot of people, it works this way, is just kind of out of nowhere, you start getting downloads as been working on your business. Like the best ideas will just kind of come to you. You're nice and relaxed in a perfect time and perfect way. You'll get an inspiration. You'll get a sense of a plan or a direction. And you'll just, in the right time, it'll be so connected for you, and you'll just know it's true, and you will move on that plan, and you'll execute it, and it will start bringing greater results than you've ever seen before. But you've got to let that wave come in. You can't force it. You have to learn that you're not as in control as you thought, right? Little you can make things build up to a certain point on a spiritual path, and then you realize, oh, okay, I can't, man, shit, I can't seem to go further. I gotta let go. I gotta let this thing happen. And then spiritual rock star way is, then rock it out. Once you get the vibe starts coming in the direction, it's easy to rock it out, right? It's from natural energy, your natural deeper presence, which includes, again, not just being airy fairy, but the fire, the steel, the wood, whatever, the earthy energies, whatever you want to call them, but all those sorts of energies as well come through that. And it does. And then people would say, oh, that all sounds great. What about all the details though? And, strategies and tactics. Okay, well, those things are easily born out of this energy. Like you'll start to understand those tactics, strategies, etc. Like from that energy, we'll have in that container, we'll have some of that information right away. And it may have the whole thing even, but if it doesn't have the whole thing, you can easily navigate those things once the energy is turned on right for whatever your next level calling is for your business. Because that's what's happening is your business wants to metamorphose in some way. It could be that it needs a metamorphosis in its structure and energy and the way it wants to grow with what you're sort of already doing. Or it could be that you're needing to sort of go in some new directions or an entirely new direction, and you need to get clarity about that. Well, then it's always about you're serving some new people. I do know, like almost always is that you need to serve some new people. You've shifted in your frequency, and now you need to serve some new people. Who are those people? What's the detail around that? This is where we get into the detailing of the business, right? So we need to, but a lot of times people try to start the business with the details and the tactics and the strategy, and then it fails miserably again and again until their energy gets connected with something that'll work for them, or they just give up, right? So what I'm saying, get the energy right first, put that first, put the horse first instead of the cart, as they say. And then, okay, how's the cart doing? Does it need some changes? Can we fine tune how we're taking care of the horse? But the horse has to come first. What's driving things? That's source, and source embodied and getting embodied and sharing and flowing through you and your unique gifts, accentuating and spicing up things by what's fun, what's joyful, what's pulling my energy forward. That's natural. I'm not trying to make it happen. It just naturally engages me. What is that new thing in my business? New ways of marketing, new ways of engaging people in the world, new audience, a new niche, a new or a higher, maybe a higher level of the same niche, higher level customer base, perhaps, right? So whatever it may be, like getting that clear for yourself, and then doing it in a more creative, innovative way than ever before. What's the new? new creative, innovative way wants to happen. That's simple, as easy. That feels easy. That feels like playtime. It has to feel like playtime. You got to get out of the worker bee energy that probably created your business up until now. You need to let go of some of that at least. I'm not saying that you need to let go of all of it necessarily. It depends, but it depends on you and your frequency. But you need to let go of some of it at least. And you need to let more of the flow and the body presence to take over now and to clear up some of the stuff you've accumulated in your, and again, in your subconscious or your pain body that's limiting your ideas, what's possible too, because you mentally probably already know you can achieve what it is that in your soul you sort of sense is possible for your business. But that's not the issue. Of course, mentally you get it, but then you're not letting it come in the way it wants to come in. Because when it comes in the way it wants to come in, the things that people often talk about, like mindset and money blocks, things I talk about, which I will continue to talk about when those are important too, to address those issues, because those things can create breakthroughs as well. It's all part of it, you know. Well, if we only focus on those things, we don't deal these deeper things that I've been pointing to during this time together with you today. No matter how much you've dealt with your money blocks, you're still going to be creating, you're still going to have a mess. Ultimately, you will find you have a mess. We had a breakthrough. I busted through this money block or this thing. Great. Okay. What about the deeper issues that you may have in your energy and the way you're operating in your life? Are you operating from a awakened presence? If you're not, then yeah, you're improved, but you're not nearly at the level that you want to be, right? You still feel like I'm lacking, I'm not quite there. I need another money clearing breakthrough to get me to the next level. And wow, I get to the next level. Yeah, that was great, but I don't know. Things are even worse in other ways. Often this happens, believe it or not. So we do all of these things, but we have to deal with the foundation. You have to deal with really getting yourself connected to your deeper presence, to who you really are, understanding who you are and letting that really get turned on in your energy, in your body, and yeah, in your chakras, I mean, everywhere in your being. And once that energy gets turned on, it will inform you on everything else. And then you can channel the rest and hire experts in different areas to help you with the rest, whether it's marketing, sales, customer service, delivery, etc. People can be there to help detail and take care of things for you. Like so many of these people have multiple companies or lots of companies they manage. They're not got their hands in the details of business. They have people that do that for them. That's where we can borrow from them and realize I don't need to do all that. All I need to do is hire people to take care of that increasingly, right? And then if you're allowing your yield to be strong enough, you easily could pay everybody and continue to see more prosperity for the business and for you individually, for what you're bringing home individually, which could be a whole nother podcast, is all about those energy structures of money and how we operate with that within a business. So, but for today, that's what I want to share. A basic foundational level. I could have started the show with this, but if we were just looking at like, listen, if you were to spice it up, you were to let go of all your old ways, like let go of everything you've been doing in your business. And you could just like, hey, I'm just going to spice it up. And I'm going to quit doing everything I've been doing for just a short period of time, just for a few days, for a week or two, or for a month, maybe, it'd be a good commitment. I'll let go of all that marketing, all that sales stuff. Maybe I'll do some of the, I'll do my service delivery I already got there to fulfill. I'll let go of everything else. What would you want to dedicate yourself to for 30 days that would feel like total fun and joy and connects to your business, connects to a sense of, wow, that would be amazing to just create that. Could be anything. Could be doing a bunch of painting. It could be I wanted to start a new YouTube channel or a new podcast or a new TV station online, or I want to build up my brand new Facebook group or a clubhouse or, whatever. I mean, it could be so many different things. It could be I want to just channel for 30 days and that's it. I don't want to even talk to other people. I just want to lock myself up for 30 days of meditation, or what is it, for 30 days? Or it could be longer, but like I'm saying, even if it's for 30 days, what would you want to immerse yourself in? That will tell you something about how things want to get spiced up. The more you can let go of your old ways operating and embracing that new thing, that's where the energetic breakthrough is going to start happening. That can in itself help a lot, can do a lot, can go a long way. But you do want to, it's one way or another, you need to deal with the deeper foundations of awakening and deepening inside yourself so that you're operating at a higher level of frequency for yourself, your business, for those you're here to serve, for the collective evolution of our consciousness, for the planet, and for your greater destiny, for everything. Okay, everybody. Well, I've covered a number of things today to support you on your pathway. If you want to connect more with me, go to yoursacredpurpose.com and get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation. And that will help you to connect more deeply, awaken you, and get your downloads for free at yoursacredpurpose.com. Get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation. And also you can go there to see about applying for me to tune into and see you and start to articulate to you what I'm seeing for you and evolving. You're evolving on your path and in your business to create that foundation for an amazing breakthrough 7-figure business ultimately, and more, knowing that wherever you are, we need to lay the foundation clearly and strongly right here. And I'll do that by tuning in your energy and your business and even some of the details, etc. And we'll take a look at, what are the next steps for you one way or another. So check all that out at yoursacredpurpose.com. Get your Energy Scan Consultation, or at least apply for it. And if I get a hint that you're a good fit to get a consult from me, you'll get that. Be sure to give you one. And get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation at yoursacredpurpose.com. All right. Okay, well, it's been a great pleasure, as always, to be with you. All my blessings and love. And until the next time, keep on tuning in, and we'll keep on rocking it here at Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Goodbye for now. Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Stay tuned for our next upcoming new episodes each Wednesday and Saturday. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review to help us to serve you best. As a reminder, you can get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation at www.yoursacredpurpose.com to rock your sacred purpose. Goodbye for now, everybody.